Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. It is Friday, May 16, 2025, and welcome to our Friday night live stream. It's been a minute since I've done this one. It's been crazy for me. So, with that said, I decided to keep tonight's live stream sweet, simple, and sane, sound, and safe. These are 3 words that I want you to keep with you as we wrap up this month, or as we continue this month. I suppose we're halfway through. So, but I, as you guys know, share from experience, share from testimony, usually life testimony, and I have been struggling with a lot of anxiety, a lot of forgetting what I already know. So this is a teaching that really I'm reminding myself, but it's also going to benefit you because the days are growing darker and crazier. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to get easier. So all the more reason we need to keep a few things in mind. So that's what I'm sharing tonight. It's probably going to be a short one, but certainly not without value. So I've titled this, well actually I haven't titled it on the video, but I'm titling this Sane, Sound, and Safe. As life gets more hectic, these are 3 spaces that we long for. We long to be sane so we can handle everything, sound so we can handle everything, and safe so we can handle everything. Now, as many of us know, we cannot control circumstances, we cannot control people, we cannot control the unexpected. So what we can control, however, is ourself. Now, this is easier said than done, especially when you are already in, these stages that I've shared recently with anxiety or stress. If you are already in these later stages or more advanced stages, it is all the more harder for you to get a hold of self. So I'm going to share a few reminders and tips to help you wherever you are, whether you're doing good today and you got a good grip on everything and you're able to manage life pretty greatly, or you're struggling a little bit, or you're really in the trenches and trying to keep your head above water. So let's start with the first point to remember is I must be present. Believe it or not, this is easier said than done. Most of us are, because we're, still navigating certain things, or we haven't even addressed certain things, we're either living too far in the future or we're lagging behind and looking backwards. So we must learn how to be in the present. And this again is a balance between making peace with my past, which is why I teach on the inner healing journey. It's important for you to come to a place of peace with whatever's broken you. Okay. And again, this is a lifelong journey. So even if you're on the journey and it's taking you a while, that's much better than not even giving it the time of day, because the things that have broken us will harass us at best, or keep us in bondage at worst. So I can't be reflecting on the past all the time, and yet I can't gaze too far out in the future because I miss what's presently happening. So I must learn how to bring these 2 together. Hi, welcome. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. I hope this blesses you tonight. So I must be present, okay? And again, this is something that requires me to take time. If I don't take time for me, I will be insane, unsound, and unsafe. So, and that's a whole teaching by itself, but, and I'll probably get into that actually at some point. But good to see everybody. Hi, welcome. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All the birthdays today. Happy birthday. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. So that's number one. I must be present. Okay. Number two, I must be realistic about where I am. And this is the key, really, is to be truthful with yourself and where you are in life. I talk about this all the time, the season that you're in, and embracing that. Okay. If I'm too impatient, let's say God has me in a season where, I've done the work, I've done the time, I've put in the effort, I've planted the seeds, and now I'm waiting for my harvest. So if God has you in a season where he wants you to patiently wait on the next instruction, but you're not patient and you want to go ahead of where he's leading, you're going to have unnecessary anxiety and stress because you're actually out of alignment and you're doing more than he's called you to do. So, and vice versa. If he's giving you instructions and you don't want to, or you're lazy and you're not doing the work, you're just kind of sitting around hoping for a miracle, but he's actually telling you, no, you need to go do this, you're out of alignment. So it's important to be realistic about where I am and honor that. Okay? I don't know. I saw a lot of messages come through, y'all, but as I don't have a moderator on my channel, if YouTube flags them, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, if you want to submit it again, go ahead. Number three, I must be in tune with self. This is key. I have to know who I am. And in order for me to do that, I need to spend time with myself. As I've shared before, some of us, this is not natural. You don't like to be alone. So you avoid it at all costs. So you probably are a people person and you're always out or always busy, and you don't like to be alone. But in order for you to have that peace that you're looking for, and believe it or not, a lot of us escape into busyness to run away from ourselves. So if that's you, this is something you have to practice. I have to practice time with myself, even if it's 5-10 minutes a day. I always teach on journaling, how journaling is a very therapeutic way to connect with my thoughts and my emotions and where I'm at in the present. If that's something you're willing to learn, I'd happily teach you. And for some of us, it's natural for us to spend time alone. We actually enjoy that. We actually get rejuvenated by that. So finding that balance is really important. So that's the first step to, I must be in tune with self. So when I cultivate that, then I begin to take an inventory of my inner self, and I realize these are the things that I am strong in, and these are the things that I'm weak in. And I learn to balance them out. So that's number three. I must be in tune with self, my strengths and my weaknesses. Hi. Hi, good to see you. Number four. I must know my unique triggers. Okay, if I'm not in tune with myself, I'm not going to know my triggers. In fact, I'm probably going to be at the mercy of my circumstances and the people around me, and not even have the self-awareness to know that I'm being triggered. Okay, so knowing my triggers is half the battle. My triggers come from childhood trauma that is still being uprooted or resolved. Essentially any area in my life where I have been traumatized or betrayed. This is an easy way to understand why you get triggered, okay? And I must know that so that I can learn to heal, and also so I can learn to relate to others, because a lot of us aren't in tune with those. So we are stuck in certain areas of our life because we're not taking the time to do that self-inventory and figure out, why do certain things upset me? Why do certain things make me sad? Whatever it is for you. But yeah, you must learn to identify your unique triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 5. Again, this is understanding how I can invest in my sanity, my mental sanity, obviously, but my soundness of soul, of spirit, and of body, and then also my safety. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 5, I must know when, or I must know my limits and boundaries. And then a subcategory, or I guess an emphasis, is I must know when I've gone past them. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are essentially the, if you will, the invisible gates that protect me from harm. Okay, so I must know these boundaries for myself when it comes to the outside world, and that includes people, places, and things. I mean, all of it. Okay, because believe it or not, it's not just interpersonal relationships we need boundaries with, it's also things. Some of us struggle with certain addictions. Maybe you have a shopping addiction and you need to curb how you spend. You need to curb, going out and spending too much. So setting boundaries for yourself would look like, in that example, that I have a budget. If I want to go shopping for, let's say, clothes or something that is essential but not necessarily critical, like other things, then I set a boundary for myself. I say I'm going to shop once a month and this is my budget. So there are all kinds of boundaries, but they're to protect me from further damage, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So I must know what they are, okay? And again, I don't know this until I do that deep inventory of self to know where these things come from. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I must know when I've gone past them. So some of the signs that you'll notice if you're outside your boundaries. Awesome, glad you found me. Welcome. Well, welcome. Thank you for sharing a little about yourself. Good to have you. I must know when I've gone past them. Okay, so I'm going to get into this for a minute because this is very critical for you to understand. And also, this is something I'm personally battling with right now. And I've been in a struggle and a wrestle with it because I have gone past my boundaries and my limits. So again, I will know my limitations based on how well I know what's going on with self. So some of the symptoms or signs or cues. Now, again, this is spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical, or all of the above. Would be first stage would be, and actually I'll probably put a couple of other things here. Because I do think that we all respond differently based on, again, temperament, personality, our own anxiety style, attachment style, the trauma that we've been through. Okay, all this is going to be different and contingent on those things. But one of the first and early signs and stages that you've gone past your limits, I put irritability first because a lot of times we get irritable. And again, this is, those of you that have been rocking with me for a little bit, you already know I teach this, but if you're prone to anger when you get anxious, you'll get irritable with others, okay? Now, equally so, maybe you don't get irritable. Maybe you actually internalize it. So maybe some of your strange symptoms would actually be forgetfulness. This is a cue that I'm not operating at full capacity right now. My brain's starting to kind of glitch out on me. Okay, I'm forgetting things, or maybe I'm foggy, maybe I'm not, or I have trouble concentrating. You know, maybe I just feel blah. Okay, these are all signs and symptoms of early stage that I've pushed myself past where I can handle. Okay, next stage is a scary stage, and that's exhaustion. In exhaustion, I would put that on par with malaise. So you just don't have energy, whether it's mentally, like, you know, you're having a hard time concentrating, like I said, you can't focus at work, you know, your brain's somewhere else, or maybe physically, you feel exhausted, you feel tired, you feel fatigued, because you're going past what you can handle. And of course, the worst stage, and it actually gets worse than this, but the third stage that I'll share is burnout. So burnout is where you literally can't handle the smallest things. And this is the scary stage because for some of us, and I'm one of those people, this leads to physical illness and disease. In fact, in my case, some of you know this, I've shared this before, but I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic illness. It is usually caused by traumatic events, or it's caused from pushing yourself past your natural reserves for too long. And that's exactly what happened in my case. I'm actually a recovering workaholic and perfectionist, and strangely enough, some of these things are rearing their ugly head again. So I am in a space where I'm very aware that this is happening, and I'm also doing my best to try and get myself regulated, but it's been very challenging because I've been pushed to this stage. It's possible, so take heart if you are here, especially if you do have chronic illness, or chronic pain or chronic fatigue or something like that. You just need to learn how to pace yourself, and you need to learn to tell others, this is my threshold, this is my limit. Please respect that, and please don't push me past it, because if you do, we're going to suffer together. It's important to voice that. And it took me a long time to learn that about myself, that I can actually tell others, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do 500 things. I want to, but I can't. So if you are this temperament, then you probably do have struggles with setting boundaries for yourself, but it's essential so that you can not get to this point. And then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ways to keep myself sane, sound, and safe. Of utmost importance is prayer. Prayer and meditation, time with God, just you and God, because that is where you get your spiritual nourishment and strength. Again, I'm reminding myself, y'all, because it's been pretty hectic for me recently, so I'm needing to remind myself of all of these things. But time with God, and time in prayer and meditation, reminding myself of truth, reminding yourself of truth. Again, being in commune with Him, so I can know, okay, what's my next step? What am I supposed to do now? What do I need to work on? What am I doing well in? You know, where do I shift my energy, and where do I need to pull back? This is so vital, because if you don't do this, you're at the mercy of your natural default, and that's a dangerous space for us to be. So yeah, quick video. Hope this blessed you. Hope it helped. And hope everyone's doing well. Thank you to the new subscribers. And I'll be back probably Monday. Yeah, because I need a break this weekend to continue to help myself get back to my center because I'm very off kilter. So I hope you have a wonderful, relaxing weekend. Hope you all are doing well. Please reach out if you need anything, shesrestored@gmail.com. If you're up for one-to-one sessions, I actually just posted a video, I think, simultaneously while I'm doing this live. So yeah, if you're interested in any of my services, please feel free to sign up. Love y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.